Jocelyn, Alice, welcome to Kiss 102.3. Welcome to Winnipeg. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. Brand new song. We just added a new single from you called Jackpot.
Yeah.
And you're going to be starting to hear it here on Kiss 102.3. But you're in Winnipeg. You're going around. You're hanging out. And we want to get to know you.
Yeah, I want to know you guys.
We want to talk about your album. We want to talk about everything. So first question I have for you. Because you started out in Calgary, that's where you're from.
Yes.
Great city, by the way. I used to live there for like a year.
Really?
I went to school there.
Cool.
So
did you love it?
I did, but it's been like so long since I've been there, so I'm sure it's changed a whole lot since I've been there. But it's a great city.
Yeah.
But you got into music living in Calgary. How did that sort of happen for you?
I've been gigging since I was like 12 or 13. Was on a TV show in high school, this reality TV show. It was called Pop Stars.
Oh yeah, Pop Stars. That's right.
Good
I forgot
times.
about that. I love that show.
Did you
yes.
really?
Oh, yeah, I watched it all the time. Yeah.
Are you being facetious?
No, I loved it. I swear. It was like, a new reality Canadian pop group coming out. Which one are you on?
I was on the third installment, so it was like the solo artist. It was not a group.
Okay.
And I
so
came in.
No Velvet Empire and no Sugar Jones.
No Sugar Jones.
Okay.
Do you remember when days were like that?
I do.
Yeah, I didn't get to
love
sing that song.
So
I love that song too, still. Yeah, and I came in second place, and it was an amazing experience. I was like 16 years old. And then I took a few years off after that to try to just figure out who I was.
Yep.
Just be a stupid teenager,
That's fair.
And then I started writing music, and that was kind of what really solidified me getting into this industry and deciding I was going to do it full time.
Were you one of those artists or one of those kids who sat at home like writing in a journal, like writing lyrics and stuff?
Yeah.
That's super cool because like I have no musical talent whatsoever. I love listening to music, but I could never write. So sitting down talking to someone who would sit there and write, it's really cool to me to think that there are people who can do that.
Well, and it's funny that you say talent because I don't really believe in that word. I think it's more of a work ethic. Okay. It's more of a persistence and dedication. Yep. And I think if you were to put a few years into it, I'm sure you'd feel differently about your talents.
Although I am a terrible singer, so
well, that cannot be fixed.
That is not something that can be fixed. No, not at all.
But yeah, I'm definitely like a writer. Like the way that I process everything emotionally is through pen and paper, whether it be songwriting or journaling or whatever.
So how did your songs then that you've sat down and written and that kind of stuff end up on TV shows? Because I've been reading and some of these American TV shows have picked up your songs. Did you ever have a time where you were sitting down watching one of these shows and then like boom, there's your song and you're like, oh my mind's blown?
No, I definitely am expecting it when I sit down to watch it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to see my song in this show now for sure. But I'm very lucky. I'm signed to a publishing company in Los Angeles. I've been working with them for about 7 years. And then I kind of do like one-offs for TV film as well, where I'll be like given a scene in a movie and I have to write a song around that.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've done it both ways where like a song that I wrote that was intended just for me as an artist and me, going through my process of living life and figuring out what's going on with me is put into a show. And that's pretty crazy. Yeah. And then I'm also sent scenes where I have to write for them and I have to take off my artist hat and put on my movie hat or TV hat. And I'm very lucky.
How did you get set up with that?
I just was traveling to LA a bunch. I was working with some producers down there. People were trying to manage me, and through that, I landed this publishing deal. And then my band broke up, so I just stayed under the radar for about 5 years, and here I am now solo, which is really exciting.
Well, that leads me to my next question because you were part of a duo.
Yes.
And now you are solo.
Yes.
Doing the duo thing compared to the solo thing, obviously there's some difference to it because you're not with somebody else working. But is it a major change for you, or is it something that you're just like, okay, well, this is the next step?
It's both. I'm still in my old band, Jocelyn and Lisa. We still play shows from time to time, and eventually I'd like to have her play with me solo. She's just a great friend of mine, but it really is like, it's similar in the way that her and I are both very independent, and we always kind of viewed ourselves as two solo artists working together in a band. Okay. But in terms of like showing up to do interviews and I'm alone, getting on stage and performing all by myself, like it's very new, very scary.
Is it really, really nerve-wracking to be like the one that's got the spotlight on instead of that sharing that? Or
do
you kind of like it?
A year ago, it was a lot harder for me. But I feel very much ready all of a sudden. There's a very extroverted side to me that likes to meet people and likes to be on stage and likes to be watched. And there's also a very private, quiet side. Yeah. And lately I've been feeling a lot more social than quiet. So it's aligned for sure.
That's good, right? That's a good thing to be able to get up on stage and do that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm always curious to know what artists are listening to when it comes to music, because I just think it's cool when it's like, oh, this is where I draw not necessarily inspiration from, but what I listen to. So if we fired up your iPod right now, what would we find on your playlist?
This one.
T Swift.
Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I love her new album.
Yeah. That might be my new favorite thing that just happened. So more of that all of the time, please.
So I booped Taylor Swift today. Booped her.
I'm going to do that all of the time now when I see Taylor Swift. Yeah, anytime I see her, just a boop.
She likes it, I heard.
I think so.
She likes when strangers try to boop her.
I don't know about that. I'm not going to try.
I love Taylor Swift's album. I think she's a really brilliant writer. I listened to Lorde nonstop. But in the making of this record, I really committed to listening to only 90s music.
Okay.
So it's funny because people will hear my songs and they're like, it kind of sounds like 90s are coming back. And I'm like, yes, like that's all that I wanted on this record. So like a lot of like Destiny's Child and NSYNC and,
nice.
TLC, all those kinds of people.
That's very cool. So that's sort of the pop genre is sort of your, like what you listen to from back in the day?
Yeah. And hip hop, pop and hip hop.
Yeah. Is there any inspiration from the Spice Girls on this album? Because
I loved that band.
I know.
Like, Wannabe is a great song.
I won't lie to you. In my car right now, it is the greatest hits album from the Spice Girls.
What's your favorite song?
From the Spice Girls?
Sing it.
Ooh, I'm not gonna sing it.
Come on.
No, probably. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. I really love "Stop." It's a great song, right? And I know the whole dance too. Yeah. I don't sound like that when I sing it.
That was not necessary.
No, but I don't sound like that when I sing it. It's terrible when I sing it. But I really like, Say You'll Be There is such a good song.
So heart-wrenching.
But I think if I'm going to pick a favorite one from them, Viva Forever.
I can't believe you just said that.
Really?
Because I was going to curveball you and be like, no one ever says Viva Forever, but that is my all-time
Such a good song, right? Such a good song.
Such a good song. Although it was played at a friend's funeral years and years ago, so it's kind of tainted. But in a beautifully broken way, for sure.
It's a wonderful song. I was gonna actually ask you about your inspirations from the album, or what where you sort of drew, but now I know. So, which is very cool. The song Jackpot, though.
Yeah.
It's very catchy, very upbeat. It's going to be one of those like summertime jams, I think, where people are cranking it out the car when they're driving around. Is there more of that kind of sound on the album?
Yeah, it's very summery, very fun. I started writing this record, dedicating to writing for an album about 2 years ago. And at that time I was in the midst of losing my grandmother, and my family was all kind of falling apart over that. And it was a darker time. So I wanted to write music for what I wished was happening instead of what was happening. Mm-hmm. And my entire life of the experience of being a songwriter, I've always written from very much of a personal space. And this was the first time where I was like, you know what? I don't like where I am personally right now, so I'm going to write about all the fantasies that I wish were actually happening. And it was interesting that now they kind of are. It's really cool.
And the album is called Summer Life.
Yeah.
It's out in June, the 9th. Of June. How excited are you for you to have everyone be able to hear this whole album in its entirety?
Am I allowed to swear?
I
am.
We're only
very nervous.
Okay, that's good. We're live on kiss1023.ca, so I don't know if you can swear.
Very, very nervous. Yeah, I'm excited. It's many, many years in the making. And it's very new for me. What people have heard from me thus far has been pretty acoustic. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to finally have an album of songs that I would actually listen to. Because I've never really been able to say that before. So I'm really, really excited.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to hear what you think. I'll send you a link.
Yes,
private
please.
stream.
Okay, I would love to hear it.
Not for you yet.
Not yet. June 9th. It'll be available to be on like iTunes and all of that.
For sure.
Digital download. I
think you can pre-order it now, actually.
Oh, awesome. Well, we will get that link, all the stuff up for that on the screen below.
Great.
Do you have I want to play a game in a second. Just a quick game before you're going to sing for us too, I think, right?
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. We'll do that in a second. But is there one album that you can listen to from start to finish without skipping a song?
Back to Black, Amy Winehouse.
Wow, that's
sure.
That's a nice choice. It's a great album.
But I went pretty hard on that Lorde album.
Yeah.
Pure Heroin.
So it's like that's hard. A close second.
Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes there's not an album. There's albums that from your favorite artists you put out, and they're like, every song's good, but it's not like, I can skip past a few songs. But that's cool.
I was actually just I had my friends Fever Feel in town. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a band, a rock band, and they were talking about albums and how passionate they still were about the whole story of an album. And I was asking one of the players, like, do you like this one part right here? Like, do you like this sonically? And he was like, well, I think it's perfect in the album. I think in the placement of where it was put, it was perfect. And for me, I don't think like that. I'm a singles person. So this album is definitely like singles.
Okay.
But I'm excited for the next album to be more of like have interludes and have a story. And so, yeah, it's endless. Every time like I finish a song, I'm like, okay, what are we doing next? Like, I cannot stop.
Relax. We have to put out this album first.
I know. I'm already like half done writing the second one, dude.
Well.
Like, I can't stop.
That's okay. But that's.
I won't stop.
I love how you just. No, there's a song for everything, and I absolutely love it. Again, I wish I could just get in there with you and sing, but I will ruin that. I will ruin the singing for you. This or that. It's a game I like to play.
Okay.
Just a few simple questions. First up, PB&J or PB&H?
PB&J.
Okay. Batman or Robin?
Robin.
Okay. Wow. Not many people say that.
Yeah, well, Robin is underestimated.
Yeah.
And Batman is too obvious.
Okay.
I like a quiet man, too.
Good choice. Touring or in studio?
Oh. Well, I just spent the last 2 years in studio, so I'm going to say touring. But in 6 months, I'm going to say in studio. Okay.
Because the touring seems like it would be more fun. Well, not necessarily more fun than being in studio, but studio seems like it's where you're putting all the work, and then touring gets to be the payoff.
Touring is I was actually just talking to my friend about this. Touring is as painful as it is fun.
Okay.
It's hard to be on the road.
Yeah.
It gets to be hard.
I can't imagine that kind of life.
Yeah.
But living in like a hotel and being all over the place. But
for me, the hardest part about touring is the food.
Okay.
It's finding like healthy, good food to eat, where like I feel like a human.
While you're in Winnipeg, there's a lot of very good options.
Like Stella's?
Yes, Stella's
Hello.
is delicious. Yeah, it's so good.
I ate there the last time I was in town playing a show. Oh, man. So
Next
good.
door, there's several locations now, so you're good to go.
Oh, great.
You can find one all over the city.
Amazing.
The final this or that question.
Bring it.
The Golden Girls or Winnipeg's The Golden Boy?
I don't know who that is.
The Golden Boy's on top of our legislative building. Big statue.
Definitely Golden Girls.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, they're babes.
I do love the Golden Girls. Did you see that Lego Golden Girls set that they might be making?
No.
Yeah, there's a I don't know if it's a Kickstarter campaign, but there's a campaign to get Lego Golden Girls sets made, which I will be all over.
Oh, I hope they get some of the money.
Yeah. Well, there's only one of them alive, so.
Yeah, oh my God, really?
Yeah, there's only Betty White's left.
Well,
but they're alive in our hearts.
Excuse me. Betty White cannot die.
No, never.
She's not allowed to die.
I
keep looking at the person holding the camera as if they're going to talk back to me, and then they don't.
She might. Next time you're here, I'm for sure going to get you. I'm going to have for you the Stay Golden Girls T-shirt.
Don't joke.
I won't. I'm not joking.
We're shaking hands on air.
Okay. Next time you're here. I didn't know if you're a Golden Girls fan. Otherwise, I would have had it for you now.
They're so scandalous, They are. They don't care.
Nope. They do not care.
They do not care.
Jocelyn, Alice, I could sit here and talk to you for days. I feel like we're best friends and that we should be like spirit animal. I don't know.
Spirit animals.
Friends. But we're going to get to a performance. You're going to do, are you going to sing Jackpot for us?
Sing Jackpot.
All right. We're going to do that right now. Kiss1023.ca.